Hi everybody, in this video it's about improving your mental health and getting to a better place, the happy mind. But first of all, when things start to go wrong, when the mind starts to suffer a little bit, having an impact on our mental health through whatever reason, whatever mental illness, just the impact there. Now, first of all, it's not that easy because the simple fact is, if it was easy, it would be half the battle. So sometimes we have to go through a bit of suffering to come out the other end, to realise what we can do to improve our mental health, to improve it and to get to a place of where you want to be. Now, starting off, the mind is unhappy. This is how I can explain it. The mind becomes unhappy due to the impact of our mind. The mind's unhappy, and what happens is it affects us within ourselves. Motions, feelings, those emotions and feelings become repressed. They get stuck. The mind becomes confused. Normally, when we're feeling, a bit positive, a bit better, a bit positive within ourselves, those emotions, those feelings, they're not stuck. They can get through. They're not blocked because it's this. What is the natural chemical that's in our brain, the serotonin, that gets blocked with it. It can't release that natural high that we normally would get. Many things that do make us feel like that, the natural highs, is laughing, all the emotions there, laughing, happiness, even crying. They say crying is a good thing because it releases a lot of pressure there. So that's what's happening. When we're laughing, we're crying, and all then emotion, happiness, we're releasing a bit of pressure. But because the emotions, the feelings become repressed, they get stuck. You can't show them feelings. Pressure gets there and builds up in stress, all the other added things like stress, anxiety. The mind is very complex, right? The brain's complex. It interferes with our thinking, our behaviour when the mind is a bit distressed. So all of that, I would say, the mind is unhappy. So going through, like I said, sometimes we have to go through a bit of pain, a bit of suffering. But like I said, what is happening is you start to realise what actually is going on, because sometimes you may shrug it off, but it draws you to negative behaviour, the negative side of things, how it affects you. But eventually, everybody's different. Everybody's different in their healing. Some are quicker than others. But what is happening is eventually you get to realise that you need to do something, because I can't carry on like this. I can't carry on suffering. And it basically, that bit of a push there. Now they talking, that's not easy. That's when you're in them moments, when you're in it, that takes time. When you're in them moments of that first blast of an illness, the very start of an illness, the first blast of it may sound like, oh yeah, talk about it. Anybody could quite easily say that, but because of what's going on, it's a little bit difficult to actually just come out and talk about it. it gets stuck. It gets stuck there. But so that takes a bit of time. But just because you can't talk about it at that specific time, you will be able to when you know as an individual the time is right. But whilst that's going on, there's other things you can help along with that. Like if you feel you can't exactly talk to someone just talking to someone, write it down. You need to get it out. Somehow you need to get it out, because the more it's in there, the more of them emotions and the feelings that you're feeling, of how it's making you feel, it needs to come out in some sort of way. It do need to come out. So like writing down what actually is going on in your head, writing it down. It may seem a bit jumbled, but that don't matter how it comes out. You're outletting it, you're expressing it. Either way, you're expressing it. But I would say, on anything that you do, it's the more you do it, the more you actually do these things, the more benefit you get. And the reason why that is because at first, when you start doing these things, you don't feel very confident around it. You got to build on that. You got to build on confidence, and that confidence as well, alongside actually feeling comfortable in actually doing those things. So it's the same, like writing it down just many times as you can. It's like training your mind into doing that. So you keep writing it down, and then that gets you used to expressing how you're feeling. There are other ways you may find, like I said, whatever you do, it's all about what you do that matters, because you might try something and it might not work. And this is another thing as well. Don't doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself, because you may have tried something and it hasn't worked. Even though you've been doing it continuously, the main key is to be patient and just don't give up at the first hurdle. You have to do it persistent for it to actually work. So that's another thing. And then eventually, it may be your time to be able to talk to somebody, and go to somebody that you feel comfortable in talking to, and that you can trust. Because I think a lot of the time with the talking, especially the first time actually talking to somebody, I think there's a lot of holding back with the doubt, worry and fear, and worry of what that other person's going to be thinking when you're actually talking to them. So, but there are people out there that you can trust, that will be supportive. And then once you get over that first hurdle, you probably will be thinking, God, I could have done this back such and such. But it never works like that. You can't see it at first. You can't see at first them things that's going to benefit you, are going to make you feel better. It's like finding them. You have to find these things. And like I said, be patient. So gradually along the way, so you've come out there about improve. So this video is improving your mental health. And when you get to a place of where you want to be, the happy mind, you still have to keep it up. You can't, it's like a full-time job. Even though you might be in a better place, you can't let your guard down. You have to continue with these things that you've been doing to keep it in that happy place, to have a happy mind, you know. And it also works as well, because you may have those little ups and downs with it, but eventually you will have them coping strategies that you find that work for you as an individual, to be able to cope a bit better with it. So improving it, like with these bad situations, that can stir it a bit. Bad situations. Now, I'm going to take, for example, this situation that we're in at the moment. Now, it's all about focusing on what you can do. Some people may already be doing things that are helping with them, but I wanted to do this video because there may be some people or someone out there that is in a position where, what can I do to improve my mental health? You know, so it's like distract. You can't block out a bad situation. Like, you can't block out things that are going on in your head, your mind and your body, because if you push away from it, block it out, what's going to happen is it's going to keep coming back. That whatever you haven't dealt with as well, it's going to keep coming back. It's going to go round in a cycle, and then you're going to start wondering. Then you realise, what am I doing wrong as to why it keeps coming back? I'm doing all this stuff, you know, but it's still not helping. You know, there's these things that happen, but it's all about dealing with a situation as well alongside it. Now, improving your mental health. Now, I've got a few suggestions, but like I said, it's all about what works for you. It's good that people can give out suggestions, you know, because it encourages people. I think it encourages people to actually do some, like either try that, someone had suggested, and to start them off by trying to find things to do that will help improve your mental health, because sometimes it's the motivation there. The motivation goes a little bit, because it's all like, sometimes it's self-pity. You might think, well, what's the point? We could all think like that. But if you want to improve your mental health, sometimes, I know it could be tough, it could be hard, but sometimes you need that little bit of a push, a little bit of encouragement sometimes to actually do it. So this is why I wanted to do this video, to give someone or some people a bit of encouragement to do it, because it's very important. Our mental health is very important, and so is our physical health. You know, like, physical pain can affect our well-being. It's like a vicious circle going on. So let's get to a happy mind. I think we all need a bit of happiness, even though this situation we're in, but you need to be able to cope with it. So to be able to cope with a situation, you have to make sure your mental health is okay, and if not, improve it. You can't get a situation would be, I would say, impossible to get through if your mental health is suffering a bit. And I'm not saying impossible, I shouldn't say really impossible to get through. What I mean to say is, it will be a bit difficult to handle, and that brings on more pressures, like more stress, more anxiety. And it doesn't always have to be this situation that we're in. It could be your own personal experience, something that you've experienced that has been bad, anything. So, you know, it's all, like I said, this video is all about improving your mental health. Now, we all say, like, exercise. exercise is good. Now, I would say about exercise, like, if there's something you want to try, like your more physical, intense stuff, like running, always build into it. If you haven't done it before, you don't want to cause, could be any of the physical side of things. You might think, yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that. But, build into it slowly. It's not a race. You're doing it to try and help yourself. And another thing as well, you want to do it. All these things you want to do, don't make them informal. Add a bit of fun to it, that it's not informal and you're doing it because you want to do it, not that you have to do it. That's the difference, and that will help you a little bit in doing these things. So like exercise, there are many forms of exercise that you can do. Now, like walking is, it's quite, we all walk, don't we? So it's an easy thing to do. Even though we're in lockdown, we can still go for exercise, and that is important. They're saying only really go out, because we're at a stage, if really need to, and going out for a walk or a bit of exercise isn't abusing the fact of what we shouldn't be doing. So walking, I love going out for walks. From an early age, when I was young, my dad used to take me out for walks. We used to go for long, going out for walks, getting in the fresh air. Now, I love it. So I've been doing it since I was young. Like I said, my dad used to take me out for walks when I was young, like little, and growing up. I just got in, you just get into it. The other things now, I used to do, before I hurt my back, I used to do sit-ups, leg raises, and all that, like the physical, like more physical things. And then I hurt my back. I had sciatica, so I had to pull back on that. And then I sort of like slacked in it a little bit. Now we can quite eat now. I try not to let it get to me because of it, because that's another thing as well. If like feeling let down because something's happened, that can play a part as well. But what I do now, which I've been doing for a long time, is Qigong and Tai Chi. I do that, like Qigong. I do it every morning. Every morning I do Qigong. And the one I do, which you can get many of that on YouTube, is to reduce stress and anxiety. And I find, because I've been doing it for so long, I can feel the benefit there. I feel more confident. Actually, I felt a bit more confident, a while back, because with something like that, you can do either indoors or outside. And when I mean outside, like a local park, you can do it in a local park. Now that's what I started to do. Now that's, that made me feel a bit more confident and comfortable in doing it, because you think you go into a park, there's other people around, you might feel a bit, I don't know, I don't want to do this, but I just forced myself to do it. And the more I done it, the more confident I actually got in doing it. But now recently I've just been doing it Qigong at home. But I do it, like I said, every morning I do it. And you do, whatever you do, you feel comfortable, and it helps, it builds with your confidence, and then it goes into how you're feeling. It really helps. Now I'm not saying, because Qigong and Tai Chi, it's not for everybody, but if you do wish to try it, like I said, you can get them up on YouTube, get the videos up for different ones. But if you do wish, this is another thing as well, if you do wish to try it, like any exercise, and you feel that hasn't worked for you, don't feel let down by it. There's always something else that you can do to improve your mental health. It's what like I said, is what works for you, and what you feel comfortable in doing as well. You will find it. You will find it. But the main thing is, you have to persist at it to know whether it is working. Because if you've just done it a few times and that's it, you're not actually getting that benefit. You're not actually knowing what is the benefits of it. So that's the exercise. There's many different things that you can do. Now, we need to laugh. We need to bring them emotions out. Another way of bringing emotions out as well, expressing yourself, like either whether it's laughter, like laughing, like smiling, making you feel happy. It's a simple, it might not work straight away. It's a simple techniques. Now, the other day I watched one of my favourite comedians it was on YouTube. I got it up on YouTube, and you know what? I was sat there, I was laughing. But it's if you're going to do something like that, like for something to help you bring out them emotion, so it takes you away a little bit from this current situation. We've all got our favourite comedy series that make us laugh, comedians, that make us laugh. Find one that you like watching. But like I said, it will instantaneously make you feel a little bit better within yourself, so you can keep going back from that from time to time if you feel it. It's just trying to outlet your emotions and feelings to improve your mental health. I can go on and on about things which I have mentioned in my other videos as well, but I want to just make it clear that it's all about what works for you, that matters, that's going to help you as an individual to improve your mental health as well. So, like I said, I could go on and on and on. We all find our own techniques in what we do, our own coping strategies in what we do. Another one, kindness. When you're kind to someone, just seeing the look on their face and how they are, how it can make you feel within yourself. There's many different things that like I said, that we can do. But don't give up on the first hurdle. You have to be persistent with it. And alongside that, it will help you feel a bit more motivated. All the things will have many benefits within itself in what you do. So this video was about improving your mental health, getting to that better place and the happy mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it will be of some use to anybody or somebody. If you're watching it on Facebook, please share this. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you haven't already, it's worth subscribing. And take care.